Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Wasteland Gamesman again, back with a new type of video where I'm going to talk about my top 10 favorite games. Now, this was a hard list to come up with because I don't know, there's a lot of games I love and a lot of games I could put on this list, but I made it 10 because whatever. 10's a number people use to do lists, so let's get this cracking, alright? My first game I can think of, it's no particular order for this list, but Kingdom Hearts. Now, Kingdom Hearts is the first game I ever played by myself. Not by myself, but I played a lot of it. I played with my dad, but I used to just watch him play. But that's the first game I actually played, and I gotta say, it's just for when you're younger, it's a easy game to get a hold of. There's a lot of the same buttons you're using to attack. But I just love the way it took fighting darkness and doing good and all that stuff. Kind of just had a great message. And I think that's what I love most about it. But also obviously the fact that Disney characters are in it. And as a kid, you love Disney. So I've loved Disney my whole life. And that takes all your favorite characters and has them fight alongside you, which was definitely a plus. And so the story's great. Now it's become complicated, but back then it was just, you're with Disney characters and you're fighting a Maleficent. She's the main villain and basically controlling everything. And it just made it was just a really easy game to get a hold of. Next game I think of is Resident Evil 2. That's something I watched my dad play a lot. Before I played Kingdom Hearts. 'Cause, that's an older game. And I would hide behind my dad, be scared, but love being scared, so I watched. But oh man, just the feeling, just the memories of that. And I've actually played it myself now that I've gotten older, especially the remake. And it was just a great time. Just nothing bad you can say about walking down these scary corridors and hallways and seeing what lurks around the corner with the great camera angles they had, the fixed camera angle, and being really freaked out because you couldn't quite see what was around the corner always because they made you look from certain angles that they wanted you to, which I think adds to the horror a lot, and I wish they would have brought it back but I'm glad with how the remake turned out. But I'd love to see a new game being made with that because, again, the way they can control the situation with their fixed camera is amazing because it lets them decide that you will for sure get scared by certain things because you don't have the knowledge of what's going to be. And even if you do see something and you start fighting it, if you have to back away, and the camera angle changes, you don't know when it's going to be close to you. So you're just kind of shooting blindly. And I love that. Motherfucker tyrant blasting through the wall. God damn, that'll make your heart pop out of your damn chest. Or come out of your ass. I don't know, one of those. Another great horror game, number 3 I'd say on my list, is Fear 2. Now that took great first person shooting. I love the way that game felt. That was a really unique feel for a first person shooter, and I think that feeling is why it's on this list. The scares were amazing, but it was a really good first person shooter. I don't know if it's underrated. Maybe I'd say it's underrated. I don't know how people feel about it. But I loved it. The game, I'd rather use that combat in a shooting game than playing Call of Duty online. If I could play that game online, and if that game had a multiplayer, I feel that would feel better than Call of Duty, which I play a lot. Not as much as I used to. But another game, I love Horizon Zero Dawn. That flipped some crazy stuff on its head. Just open world, but the robot animals and being able to control certain ones and ride them, and the backstory, how civilization changed in that game to like them having these robots come, and they were supposed to help the world, like replenish the world and help it, but they just, obviously we got some bad guys turning them evil, and you got some giant cracks coming at you with metal teeth, and that's just such a unique thing. Like, when things like that have never been done before, and that game was beautiful. Like, there's no denying the beauty of that game. And another beautiful game is BioShock Infinite. Now, the way that the colors popped in that game, the art style for that game is some of the most beautiful I've ever seen. Being in the clouds and riding around on the railings with your hook shot. And now I admit the combat wasn't the best, but I think that what really keeps you invested is the enemies, though the story, all the little things to look at everywhere. There's something beautiful to look at. And I think when you make a game like that, the combat, obviously it matters, and it should have been, they could have made it a little better, but I still had an amazing time with that. Just, again, like, I think about what you're fighting for in a game, and that really pushes you to want to keep going. And that's definitely a game I can go back to and enjoy. Like, when you go playing other games and you come back to it, you got to get used to the combat again a little bit. Just for me, maybe. Just the way it felt was a little different. But again, just going through that world and trying to figure everything out. It's just an amazing thing. And another one, number 6, is Alan Wake. Now, I just love the way that game took fighting enemies to a different level because of how you have to use light before you can attack them. And again, another game where the story just really drives you. It puts you through twists and turns, and you don't know what's real, you don't know what's fake. All you know is that crazy people are around trying to kill you, and they're shadow people, and you're trying to find your wife, and just the dark, ominous aura of the whole thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But the story, it's another game where the story definitely keeps you going, and you just want to know what's going to happen next and find out. And yeah. Another one, Jak and Daxter for number 7. Now, that was another game I grew up playing. That was the first game I played by myself mostly. It had platforming and shooting mixed really well, and funny. It was funny. Like the cutscenes and the way Daxter was, and just like their interaction, especially in Jak and Daxter 2, Jak 2. But again, just a game full of characters that are full of life. Jak and Daxter was just really fun, and it was kind of like a Grand Theft Auto for children, if you want to put it that way. It's not, I don't know if you could say it's a child's game. It wasn't M-rated, so it was there. And another game I have on my list is Red Dead Redemption. Now, I could put 1 or 2, but I'm just gonna say both. Come on, being a cowboy in a Grand Theft Auto type world, it's just, you can't. I love the feel of the cowboy era, and like, even though it's tried the not exact history of cowboys, they probably didn't act exactly like we envision them, but the way they are envisioned for video games and movies is freaking amazing. I just love the thought of just being this outlaw on a horse, and just back in the day feel with all the construction going on and the revolutions happening and things improving. And then there's these guys that are just out to do whatever and get bounties and just having to scavenge for your own living, really having to figure that out on your own. It's just something about that. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And I love that feeling in another game, which is Fallout New Vegas. Now, of course, all Fallout and Elder Scrolls games give you that same feel, that feeling of discovery, that not in Elder Scrolls, but the Fallout, the post-apocalyptic feel, going with trying to find your way through the game and finding supplies. And there's something great. I don't know why we love that. That's why Battle Royale is so popular. Having to go from zero to something and finding your way. It's just something that we love as gamers, and I can't exactly understand that. There's something to that, but I don't know. It's just the feeling of walking through this wasteland with like just one weapon and light arm, like barely any armor, and then you go and you find a random camp and you kill a couple guys, and then one of them has a better weapon that you haven't got yet and slightly better armor, and you attach that, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for some tougher combat. And then eventually you find tougher enemies and then unique weapons. Like finding a unique weapon, that's a great feeling. Like one-of-a-kind things that they put in the game that are maybe kind of hidden but not. You just gotta find the right spots. We say we want that to happen in real life. Obviously, it would be really tough and hard to deal with. It's just really cool to be killing giant rad roaches. It's just, come on, and eating Salisbury steaks with radiation, that's my kind of meal, if you know what I'm saying. And a last game on this list, I'm going to say, which is, I don't like to put multiplayer games in my head, a list like this, but I have to admit, a game I play a lot is Rocket League. And that just took online competitive gaming to a totally different place for me. Just the difficulty of having to control the car and hitting the ball and flying through the air and trying to get these great shots. It's a weird thing that just so happened to work so well. And you get frustrated with your team a lot, and I know I do a ton. And then that's when you have to just suck it up and say, fuck it, I'm playing defense. You gotta just let them do their thing and you gotta let the ball come to you, let them do their thing. And then you just show them what you got. And that's what I try to do. But there's just something so different about it. And it's more than just running through a map and killing people. So that's my top 10 list. Now, it could probably change if I thought more about it, but I just had to write down a list and figure this out because I wanted to make a video and I wanted to just express type of games that you could see on this channel and things that I might be doing. Obviously I'm going to be looking forward to more Resident Evil games to play on this channel. Looking forward to Alan Wake 2 whenever that comes. Way down the line, probably. The next Fallout. Hopefully it's better than 76. Red Dead obviously shows that I love, Grand Theft Auto. So Grand Theft Auto 6, that's going to be definitely a game I'm playing. Jak and Daxter, there could be another one of those. Horizon is definitely going to have a sequel. BioShock, I don't know what's going on with that. But, yeah. It's just, man, the way video games affect us gamers, isn't it just a beautiful thing? I love it. There's nothing like it in this world. And that's why when people don't understand about us gamers and like how much love we have for these games, it's like, it's alright. You go ahead and go play basketball and then go do whatever. Go type your reports up in your office, and I'm gonna make a living playing video games because this is what I love and this is my This is my joy in talking about them. So I appreciate everyone watching, and look forward to new videos. Please like and comment. And if you actually like and you click that button, hopefully you'll subscribe, and then you'll see some more into my face. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Peace out.